Hi guys, Going Green Mom here with another Foodie Friday. Oh wait, it's Tuesday? Let's call it Topsy-Turvy Tuesday. I am not quite done with the video I was planning for today, so I'm just gonna make you my Foodie Friday video. If I don't have it done by Friday, you'll get a second dose of food this week. But anyway, so we are making chicken and dumplings. I have just cut up a medium to large onion and dumped 3 chicken breasts in there. I am now putting 4 teaspoons of the Thrive gluten-free bouillon in there and 4 cups of water. Feel free to use frozen chicken breasts. I may have just had a slight malfunction with my freezer calculations when I ordered groceries last week. So I am pressurizing for 35 minutes as per usual, and then we'll set about doing the dumplings. Now, for this recipe, I am just using a gluten-free flour blend from Road to the Farm. Melanie has a great blend recipe that does not use gums or that sorts of things because those are known digestive tract irritants. I will link her channel down below. I believe that recipe for her flour blend is currently free. Anywho, other than that, I'm just using a basic biscuit recipe that we have used for years for making strawberry shortcake and reducing the amount of sugar that is in it. In addition to those changes, I also added an egg to the liquid portion because it is gluten-free flour that I am using. And if you've done much gluten-free cooking, you realize that one of the major issues with gluten-free cooking or flour in general is that it tends to not want to stick together. And I definitely need this to stick together so that I don't have glue in the end when I put it into boiling liquid. So I also can't find my good pastry blender, and I decluttered the one that kept falling apart. So I'm just going to cut that in with a couple of knives. And then here I realized that the recipe says don't use metal. Oops. I'm not sure why it says don't use metal. It's not a sourdough recipe of any sort. So if you know what that affects, please drop that in the comments down below so I can adjust accordingly if it needs to be done. As is, it came out perfectly fine. There's no metallic taste or anything. And it worked just fine as it had the night before when my daughter did a non-gluten-free version of this in a metal bowl. So, I am just sort of rolling this a little bit in the flour on the counter. It is rolled out slightly thinner than you would a biscuit, slightly thicker than you would a noodle, and cut in 1 by 2 inch strips. I am basically coating it in flour so it won't stick to itself as I stack them in the bowl that they came out of while I wait on the chicken to get done. I just wanting to be efficient with time, and we were kind of hungry already. So anyway, fairly quick, but definitely more involved than a lot of my recipes. If you are new here, realize that a lot of my recipes do involve the Instant Pot and are typically low lectin, low histamine options. So for this recipe, I think the histamine levels should be actually fairly low, other than the fact that the chicken wasn't frozen. Peas and carrots typically are okay. Onions are a natural antihistamine. And there would probably be some lectin levels in the peas to some degree. I don't know how freeze drying affects lectin levels yet, but it wasn't enough of an issue to bother me or cause any problems. But anyway, this was also one of those things. I was attempting to find another way to use the freeze-dried portion of my pantry. And as I was doing this, I add these in after I get the chicken out, and I missed some. I had not waited for this to actually be boiling again to add those, and I also didn't add any extra liquid, which I quickly realized I should have done. I'm just going to shred up some of this chicken while I wait for this to come to the start of a boil. Because quite frankly, the only time I have seen chicken and dumplings made, Mom put the dumplings in when it was a rolling boil. However, they do absorb liquid, as do the dehydrated items, so it very quickly thickened up, and I realized I should have added more liquid. I was trying to wait to add the additional liquid at the end, because when my daughter made this, the dairy stuck to the bottom of the Instant Pot and was a pain to clean off. So it was one of those things. I was just going to wait until the end and add milk, and yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Honestly, if you need it to be dairy-free, I would say just nix the milk all together and just add more water and some more seasonings. The flour that I coated the dumplings in thickened it up nicely and gave it that creamy sort of texture anyway. So it wasn't completely necessary. If you would like it to be more shelf stable, I don't see any reason why the dehydrated milk would be a problem either. So here I'm just adding the rest of these dumplings and going to give it a quick stir. Now, typically you hear that when the dumplings float, they are done. I tried one of them because when I first started putting them in, they did do that. They were still not done. So I'm not sure if that has to do with the gluten-free or the fact that it wasn't like a supercharged rolling boil. But just be aware that it's done when the dumplings are done. At this point, the chicken is already cooked. I haven't added it back in yet, but no worries there. It's one of those, at this point you need the dumplings to be cooked and it's ready to go. Now, I did cut some out there, so realize that it has probably been cooking by the time it gets done for another 15 to 20 minutes after it came out of the pressurized cycle. So it was not an instantaneous thing, but it wasn't like 2 or 3 hours in a crock pot either. I was aiming for sort of bite-sized chunks, and I realized I hadn't gotten to the bottom of the bowl. So there you go. As per usual, I'm watching videos in the background. Feel free to go check them out. It happened to be our tribe of many on one of their meal prep videos. She loves her Instant Pots as well and has a huge family to cook for. And it looks like I am just about done here. I'm adding like garlic and pepper, and I added a bit of oregano.
Supper's ready.